We've been here several times, Your Honor, and each time Mr. Garcia has been notified, and the last reset was not only emailed to him, Your Honor, it was mailed to him at the Texas Department of Criminal Justice and TDCJ before he was paroled, Your Honor. And Miss Ramone will testify to when he was paroled, Your Honor. But the last time we were here was, let me just get that, Your Honor. It was February 12th, 2025 for today's setting. So we did send that to him before he was paroled. She's going to testify. He was just paroled on Monday.
Yes,
and just one second. I'm sorry, Mr. Ramone. But I will show Your Honor his TDCJ information, his Texas Department of Justice inmate information, just so we can also have that on the record.
Okay.
This is a screenshot, Your Honor, of it, as it no longer will show on the website since he's been paroled. So we did take a snapshot. This is the inmate information for Mr. Enrique Garcia.
Okay. I'll take notice. That's what's on screen share at this time.
The maximum sentence date, Your Honor, was November 5th, 2026.
That was the maximum sentence date. Okay.
It was also the same for his projected release date, which is November 5th, 2026.
Okay.
His parole eligibility date was November 5th, 2023, which he did not make at that time, but he is now on parole, Your Honor.
Okay.
And lastly, this is his offense, Your Honor, which I'm scrolling down to. He was charged with indecency with a child contact. This offense occurred September 4th, 2017. He was sentenced March 22nd, 2021. He was sentenced for 18, oh, I'm sorry, not 18 years. I'm looking at the cause number. For 6 years, Your Honor.
Okay. I'll take judicial notice of all that information on this inmate.
And so, Your Honor, based on that, and also the DNA, what we're asking for is that he be named the father. At this time, Ms. Ramone is asking that medical support be set at $20 starting May 1st. Child support, $199. She continued the child on government insurance. She does not know if Mr. Garcia is employed. It is more likely than not he is not employed currently, Your Honor, as he was just paroled. So we are basing this on minimum wage. She's going to continue carrying the child on government insurance. Unfortunately, no retroactive is appropriate as for the last 4 years, he was incarcerated. She's asking to be the sole managing conservator, Your Honor, and that he have no rights at all, Your Honor, due to the fact that he was charged with that offense of indecency with a child. That charge is not with regards to any of her children, but she is asking that he has no rights. She is asking that he also have no visitation. She's going to testify that simply Mr. Garcia does not wish to be involved at all with the child. Mr. Garcia does have one other child. She's also asking for a non-disclosure of her information. If Your Honor were to order visits or any communication, she's asking that that be through the app called App Close.
Okay, Ms. Coates, can you wait on just a second? We have a lawyer in the courtroom that needs to be moved.
He was moved, Judge.
Thank you. Wonderful. Great. So the last thing was the app closed after the non-disclosure. Let's go ahead and move in another party on the 10th, please.
And Charlotte, you can put her in Calvano 1 or 2.
Okay, Your Honor. Non-disclosure for both parties. It looks like Mr. Garcia had a non-disclosure for a third-party individual. But Ms. Ramone is also asking for a non-disclosure. She believes she's going to testify in general, Your Honor, that any contact with him is just not good for the child. It's not the best interest. And then lastly, Your Honor, she is asking that her daughter's last name be changed to Barrera, and the state is going to be asking for court costs. And so I will start with Miss Ramone. Miss Ramone,
Yes,
uh, you and your daughter went to go get tested. Is that correct? Genetic
yes,
testing?
ma'am.
And did
Yes,
we
ma'am.
show you those results?
No, I was able to go to the office and pick them up.
Okay, but you did get a chance to see what the results are.
Yes, ma'am. They were 99.999%.
Okay, I'm going to share my screen right now to show what you would have been given a copy of. All right. And this has been previously marked as Exhibit A. Miss Ramone, is this part of the document in which you received?
Yes, ma'am. And I believe they said once I was able to receive them that they had legally to the same papers out to him as well.
Okay. So as you can see here, he has a probability of being the father. 99 point several nines and then a 6. Does this look like what was been given to you?
Yes, ma'am.
And just for the record, we're screen sharing the DNA test report for this child and these parents and referring to the probability of paternity. Okay, I'll take judicial notice of this document, Ms. Coates.
All right. So Miss Ramone, your daughter that you share with Mr. Garcia, how old is she?
She's 8 years old.
All right. And so for the last 4 years, he's been incarcerated, correct?
Yes.
And has he had any kind of relationship with your daughter?
No, I have tried to plenty times while he was incarcerated to try to help guide him to have a relationship, even if it were over the phone. His response was he's not ready. He'll deal with it when she gets out. And then we came to, okay, well, if I help you get a parole lawyer, because I need you out here to be able to help me with her, especially because she has von Williams disease, and she sees the blood and cancer center there every 3 to 6 months. So that's the reason I kind of pushed forward, because if they were needing a blood transfusion, then it was possible if maybe any of his family were able to help me if it were to come to that situation. And he just didn't want to. So that's why I went through court and asked for the DNA to show him and prove to him that it is his. And then after he found out about it, the paper and the results and stuff, he still chose not to be in her life. So
All right, Miss Ramone, with that, so if he's not in her life, does she have a father figure?
pardon me?
If Mr. Garcia is not a father figure, does she have another father figure?
Yes, his name is Abraham Barrera.
And who is Abraham Barrera?
He's he's my current he's I'm in a relationship where we're wanting to get married, and we've been together for about I got with him maybe when she was already 5 years old. So she's had him in his life as a father, and she really does want him to be her dad as much as, I explained to her a father doesn't necessarily mean like your blood if your blood, if he's more of a father to you, then if that's something that you want, we can talk about that and have that discussion later. But we
Okay.
do need to allow your dad to see if he wants to be a part of your life, which he chose and still chooses not to, as much as I've reached out and
Okay,
have
Mr.
helped
Ramone,
him on his
hold on,
end.
hold on. You're giving a lot, okay? I need you to just answer yes or no's, and I will ask you for explanations, okay?
Okay.
Okay. So, your child has expressed that she would like to have her last name changed to Barrera. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And her last name is Vera. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Um, whose last name is that?
That is the man that chose to step up at the time, we went to court. We had to get it removed because he chose not to be a part of her life.
Okay. So it would just be her first name and then it would be Barrera.
Zina Ariana Barrera, her middle
Okay,
name.
Xina Ariana Barrera. Okay. So now his charge, the indecency with the child, was that having to do with anything with your children?
No.
Do you know who the victim was?
The victim was the girl he was with at the time, the daughter that was underage.
Okay. So he sexually assaulted his girlfriend's daughter.
Well, it said indecent. You don't know what it
Well,
was.
I don't-
indecency.
I don't know exactly what happened. Like I said, I know
Okay, hold
from
on, Miss Ramone. I'm gonna rephrase. Okay. He was charged with indecency with a child, and the child was his girlfriend's daughter.
yes,
Okay. And if you don't know anything about the charges, that's fine, what the detail is. But the daughter was a minor.
yes.
And so given that he was charged with that and is possibly having to register as a sex offender, you're asking that he not have any visits with your daughter.
I'm asking, yes.
And then with regards to decision making, you are the one who is making all the decisions with regards to your daughter, correct?
Correct.
He has no interest with regards to what's happening with your daughter or her disease or anything like that.
Correct.
And so you're asking to be sole managing and know that basically he has no rights. Correct?
Correct.
And then let's see. Now you just heard me say he was incarcerated, but then you found out he was paroled. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
When was he paroled?
Monday on her birthday.
And how did you find out he was paroled?
I'm the one who hired the parole lawyer and spoke up upon the board because we, like I said, we had an agreement that if he were to help, I were to help him, he were to help with my daughter. And he said he wasn't gonna worry about it until he got out. And then he got out and he yet to reach out or anything. So, I mean, I've spoke with his sister and from what she's saying is that he's not wanting nothing to do with her. I mean, he has my number, like I said, I'm the one, I, he knows her abouts, he knows my whereabouts, and he's yet to fail to even care to
Wait.
ask of her or anything of her.
Okay, I heard that, Mr. Ramone, but real quick, tell me, what Monday did he get out?
The 7th, April 7th.
Just well, just last week, barely a
Yeah.
week. And you think that's sufficient time to have him do everything he's supposed to do? Or get
No,
training?
I'm not saying, like, I understand, like, he still needs time to get off his feet and everything, but it wasn't a problem for him to reach out needing help, when I didn't have to, and I don't regret it because, like I said, I genuinely did it because I explained to him, there's no, my goal here is to get the help that I need for my daughter because she is sick. So with that being said, I mean, it takes a parent to just like, hey, I'm gonna handle business. Even if it's just a call, hey, I'm out. And more than that, it's more out of respect, like when nobody was the one helping him. And
Okay, Ms.
you know,
Ramone, let me just stop you again.
gave
Ms.
him,
Ramone, stop.
pardon me?
Just stop. You're talking too much. Hold on.
Sorry.
I just want to tell you where I'm coming from, and I need you to hear this before I hear the rest of the testimony. And I know your face isn't on the videos because you have your ear up so you can hear me. Are you
Yes,
not
ma'am.
having, you still
No, I
having?
can't
ear
hear
problem?
you.
I'm
Yeah,
talking, I'm talking as loud as I can, or I should. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, it's just my phone. I don't know. It's the speaker.
Okay. Well, we're not having any problem hearing you. Make sure your volume's up if that's the case. You
It
already
is,
tried
ma'am.
that?
It's just my phone's not
Okay.
that great.
Well, listen carefully. One is that this is an establishment court. This is where we start, where we actually enter orders to establish parents' rights, duties, obligations, those kinds of things. I am not a termination court. If you want him terminated completely out of her life, then that's probably something you want to do. And if you want your husband, when he becomes your husband, to adopt your daughter, then after you do a termination, you have an adoption. But that's for a whole nother lawsuit, a whole nother court. That doesn't happen here. Now, what you're asking me to do is just give him zero rights, but only the obligation to pay child support. Usually I don't do that. I don't care how bad or how awful or how I do care. Obviously, I do care for the child's sake, but the law is that just because it's a bad actor sitting in a prison, whatever the charges are, or even out of prison, that they still have rights and duties to their children. Now, should I protect the child? I should absolutely protect the child. So, and even you thought it might be a good idea for him to get involved with his daughter because there are going to be questions there down the road. Who's her father? What is he like? What happened? Why was he in jail? All that stuff. So it's sometimes better just face it head on than to avoid it or hide it or pretend it never happened. And she's 8, so she must know a lot by now.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
if you want to get her a new father, you can do that, but this might not be the right place to do it. If you want me to terminate all his rights, I can limit his rights, but whether I just give him nothing other than one obligation, which is to pay support, and that's it. It's a high burden. I have done it in the past, but I've had to been persuaded that there's nothing else I could do, that he's not interested now or he's not been interested. That's not the burden, is that he a danger to the child. And I can't tell you any number of things that you could tell me if they were the truth that might have me agree
But
with.
that's what I was trying to explain. I understand.
You're
I understand.
interrupting me,
I
okay?
mean,
You're interrupting me, ma'am. You're interrupting me. It's not your time yet. I need you to finish hearing me out. It's a high burden. I hardly ever do it. I'm not likely to do it. I haven't heard enough yet to tell me I should do it. So I'm stopping you to tell you if there's something worse, I need to hear it. And don't be upset if you don't like the result, but it's to protect the child and to know that she has a father because she does. And then you go off to termination court to get rid of his rights and maybe even the child support and let your husband adopt when he becomes your husband. But that's not happening all at once here. But I'm just telling you what the law is. I'm just telling you where my background is. I've done this for a long time. And I'm going to follow the law, even if your desires are one thing. You can get what you want, but it would have to be in another court, possibly. I haven't finished hearing what your testimony is. I wanted to stop you to tell you if you have more to tell me that's different from what you just said, I'd be happy to hear it. So, Miss Coates, with that in mind, if you want to continue questioning your witness, you may.
All right, Miss Ramone, before he was incarcerated, your daughter was about 4 years old, is that correct?
yes, ma'am.
And so before he was incarcerated, did he have any relationship with her?
No, he didn't want me.
When were you two ever in a relationship?
Yes, ma'am.
How long were y'all in a relationship?
About maybe, well, um, it was like 3 to 4 months.
3 to 4 months before you got pregnant, or you were only
Yeah,
together
well, I
for
actually
3 or
had a
4 months?
miscarriage before my daughter as well, by him. And that's whenever,
All right, Miss
sorry,
Ramone. Okay. How long were you two together?
we were together for like 4 months, I would say.
Okay. During your time that you two were together, was he ever physically violent?
No,
Was he ever verbally abusive?
no,
Um, After you two separated, was he ever physically violent or verbally abusive?
no,
Does he have a history of drug abuse or alcohol abuse?
None of known.
Do you know what his relationship like is with his minor, his other minor child?
Um, his minor child, he's been in and out of her life. She's about 11. The other child that I told you that's 19, um, he's barely he's barely gone into his life, and 19 years later is what I'm known from what the son has the oldest her older brother reached out to me, and that's the only reason I know, because he said that it was 19 years his dad finally had accepted him.
So he has a poor relationship with both of his children.
No, he doesn't have a relationship with them as of the little girl, I know it's in and out, and the oldest son, it's not a relationship. It was more of a, hey, I'm your dad, and he says he doesn't talk to him, and he's yet to talk to him.
Okay. So since he's only been out for a week, do you know if he obtained employment?
No, I don't know anything, just where his about is. That's about it.
Okay. Um, so since we have no information on whether or not he's employed, we have to base child support on minimum wage. Is that an issue?
No, ma'am, it's just whatever. I mean, anything helps better than nothing. My more concern is the Medicaid. Like I said, she has von Willebrand's disease, and that's where I'm really needing the help, is with her Medicaid, like medical.
So, your child has the government insurance and you don't have insurance through your employer?
No, ma'am, I have to work hours through that work with the kids' schedule, because I I have nobody to help me with them. I do private. The company that I work through, it's called they're allowing me. I do private security. They allow me to work around those hours, but they don't carry medical.
Okay. So even though he has your phone number and address currently, are you asking that he not have that if you were to change your phone number or address?
Yes, ma'am. Well, I
And
mean, this is a thing. I don't, right? I don't, I want what's best for my daughter. If right now, like I said, she's been knowing who he is, he's been knowing who she is, she's been wanting to meet him. He's neglected to care, to even make a conversation with her. Um, and I gave him all, you know, the will and the chance and opportunity for him to, have a choice, have a voice, to let me know what's going on his end, or like to, speak to me, at least communicate with me, so I can have a better understanding. But as far as I know, like I said, right now, he's proven to me that he doesn't care. He doesn't want nothing to do with her, even, you know, but as for her, she's met her older brother. He reached out, like I said, um, and since then she did herself tell me, like, hey mom, like, um I have my brother, don't worry about my dad, like, that's fine, like, I got something better. And but I told her, baby, don't be mad if it's okay for you to have these feelings, but if you ever change your mind, I can't promise you that I can make him be there, but I can promise you that I will reach out and let him, and if he were to reach out, I will ask her if that's something she's wanting to do, because he's gonna have to wait on her time now, because she's been waiting and waiting to have that, with him, and he's just, pushed it around.
all right, Your Honor, I have no further questions.
Okay. Just going back to the indecency charge, do you know how old that child was?
Um, I really don't know. I just know she was underage.
Well, underage being 17 or 7. I mean, do you have any?
Mm, I I can't say it. Like I don't. I just know it was. That's the whole reason I'm asking for sole custody, because I mean I'm willing to allow him if to, but with supervision. Of course I'm gonna be there, because even if I believe he did or didn't, that's not my thing. My thing is the best interest for my child. I'm not gonna take that chance if it's in with a child. I think it's perfectly well for me to say, I'm it's I can't take chances when it comes to my daughter. It's,
No, and the court doesn't want you to take chances, and I don't want to take chances either, ma'am. We have to protect the child. That's your duty, and that's my duty too. But earlier I had heard you didn't want anything from or any visits, and now you're saying you might allow supervision?
no, I'm not saying like visits. I'm saying if it's something that she's wanting, yes, but I'm not gonna do it to where he's allowed to be with her alone.
Well, no, of course not. Of course not.
That's
That's my
my fear.
job
Like I
too.
don't want to have like where he has visitation rights and takes her, and
Ms.
I can't do
Ramone,
anything.
I'm not talking about anything like that because of what you said. Yes, of course, the child should be supervised, even if she's 18, probably. Just that what you were asking initially was nothing, no visits, no nothing, and then you get to decide later, or you get to go terminate him later. You want your husband, your new husband, to adopt her, but that's not here yet. That hasn't happened. That's not on file. That we are dealing with this case in this court at this age under
Yes,
these
ma'am.
facts. So I have to figure out what I need to do. But I did hear you say two different things. First, nothing, and then supervision because you wouldn't want anything else. And I would agree with that. I would absolutely agree with that. Um, what else was I going to ask you?
And when I meant that that I don't want anything to do with him in her life is what I was trying to say with that is that if he doesn't want any part of her life, either sign your rights and just, leave her alone, or if you're willing to, then yes, of course, I'm gonna do what I can for my daughter. That's what I meant. It's not necessarily like,
Yeah. How long did you try to get him to do something by getting the lawyer and how long did that take before you finally figured out he just wasn't gonna live up to his end of it by meeting the child or seeing the child?
well, it was till whenever I got the paper, when they sent him the paper, the DNA.
Well, when did you try to get him the parole lawyer and make the deal you said you made with him that if you helped him with his parole, he would, I guess, get involved with the child? When was that?
Yes, but
When
he
was
said that he
that?
needed a
When was
paper.
that? How long ago was that? When was that? How
That
long?
was in 2023.
And so you tried for how long till you got out just last week till 2025? A year,
Yes,
2 years?
and all I was asking is just for a simple communication. I wasn't asking for money. I was asking him to
Okay.
try to make that relationship with her, even if it were just over the phone or reading a book.
Okay. Let me put it in what I'm seeing is that you wanted her to know her dad, no matter how bad he was, and you want to protect her from her dad because of what he's facing. Um, and you even tried for a year and a half to 2 years of trying to get him involved, but you're in court now saying that that's it, you're done or not?
Yes, ma'am, but I'm trying to say too, like I'm not that way. I want y'all to know that it's not that that I was giving him the opportunity to, like,
Yes.
I want him to know, like, first I gave you that choice. You can't take away from me and say that I never gave you the opportunity. I never you allowed you, and now I'm gonna take the steps that I need to take to do what I gotta do for my daughter. And that's what I'm trying to get at.
Okay.
Yes, it hurt. Did I know that he was gonna do that? No. Did I wish it was different? Yes. But at the end of the day, I genuinely did it because I wanted him to be there and help. And I don't regret it because, like I said, I allowed and I did what I'm supposed to do. And now I'm gonna keep doing what I'm supposed to do.
Okay.
Now he can't take that from me and say that I hid her. I took her away. I didn't allow him to. I didn't show him. I didn't do none of that.
Okay, I get that. I get that, and that's important. And you did do it. You did try. You're still trying. Anything else you want to say, Ms. Ramon? Oh, I did have another question. What was your birth name? What was your maiden name?
Mine, Ramone.
Uh-huh. So is that your mother's name or your father's name?
It was my father's name.
And if you get married, you're gonna change it?
Yes, ma'am.
And you would change it to your husband's name.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I have actually a wedding date in mind.
Yes, ma'am, we do. We
When is
just, like I said, I got sick with my liver and kidney failure and my daughter too, so we kind of just moved the wedding date.
When is it?
It's for the 2026. We have it. We right here and
Wow.
doing it the mill.
What was that the year or what day and month?
It's gonna be around my birthday, July. We haven't picked the exact date.
And by 26, you meant 2026 next year?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. How long have you been living with Mr. Barrera?
Mm, well, since she was 5.
And she's 8, so 3 years?
Yes, ma'am.
And did I really hear you say that your relationship with Mr. Garcia was only 4 months, and in that 4 months you had a miscarriage and then a pregnancy? And then no relationship?
Pardon me?
I'm trying to understand if you were really only with him for 4 months, and during that 4 months you had a miscarriage and a pregnancy?
I
Just
had in January, it was January 17th.
of what
Mr. Barrera, well, we was in a relationship, it didn't get serious till 2 years ago. So he was more of a friend before a relationship. That's why I say for 4 years, well, 5 years.
you said 4 months that you were in a relationship with him. 4 months is what I heard. That's not what you meant?
Are you talking to me about Mr. Barrera or Mr. Garcia?
Oh, no, I'm talking about Mr. Garcia. You told me
Oh,
you
okay.
had a miscarriage and a pregnancy, and it all happened in the span of 4 months? That's the relationship you had with him?
Well, because when I met him,
Well, I'm just trying, was it 4 months? Was it 14 months? Was it just not hardly any time at all? I'm just trying to make sure you're telling me the right amount.
no, because
Yeah.
I got with him when I had my middle child, 2015. I'm saying, I don't know what y'all consider like together. Like, I mean, well,
Well,
I know
whatever you consider together. I'm not making the rules. You're telling me your life. Tell me
a
what,
relationship where I was with him for 4 months. Yes.
and how long had you known him?
I had known him for a year previously, like a year previously before that, well, 2 years. Because
So you were in a relationship, but it wasn't, but were you on and off with him and it wasn't serious till the 4 months?
Yeah, no, I wasn't on and off with him. We
Yeah.
were just friends at the time, and um, we ended up
Okay, I get it. But it was
dating.
only 4 months. You meant that. You said that. You're repeating that. It was only a 4 month relationship.
Pardon me?
It was only 4 months when you were serious together.
Well, yeah, because he moved in. That's what I consider. When he moved in is whenever I was living in San Marcos at the time.
And he moved out, or you moved out in
He
4 months?
moved out. He went back to the girl that put him in prison
Okay.
right now. Well, he put himself in there for
Yeah.
whatever that charges.
Okay, anything else you want to say, ma'am?
No, ma'am.
Ms. Coates, do you have a closing for me or any other evidence before we go to closing?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, so did you want to do a closing?
Yes, sorry,
Okay.
I have no other evidence.
Oh, yeah, I got that. We'll move on to your closing.
Okay, Your Honor, we're asking that he be named the father, Mr. Garcia be named the father. We ask that you set child support based on a minimum wage finding, giving him credit for one other child. Child support would be $199 starting May 1st. Medical at $20 starting May 1st. Mom continue the child on government health insurance. The state would recommend sole managing conservatorship. No geographic restriction. No retro, Your Honor. We're requesting a non-disclosure for both parties, Your Honor, because he also had one for a third party. App close for the communication if Your Honor does any visits or anything like that. at close in general. We will defer to Your Honor with regards to the visitation and if there was going to be any restricting of any rights, Your Honor, with regards to the conservatorships and things like that. We'd ask that he pay the court costs. We would recommend at least a year from now. And see Mr. Garcia pay the court costs by April 6, 2026.
Okay.
And I think I got everything, Your Honor.
Okay, Ms. Ramon, is there anything you heard that you disagreed with?
No, ma'am.
Okay, well, generally, all that first part, I didn't have any objections to any of that. The DNA was admitted, paternity is established. On the issue of name change, I will not change the name to a man who's not your legal husband at this point. If you really want that, you can get a name change with a termination, with an adoption, if you terminate this guy first.
Can
So,
she at least have my last name?
yeah, that's what I was gonna ask you. Wouldn't you rather have her have your name, so,
Yes,
mother and
ma'am.
daughter? Okay, the surname will be Ramon. I heard it. I don't probably totally misspelled the child's name, but leave her first name, middle name alone. Remove her last name of Vera and put Ramon in its place. Okay. Well, let me get the easy stuff. The minimum wage presumption of child support 199, medical support of 20 a month, and mother to provide the government insurance is granted. All starting May 1st. Non-disclosure, mutual non-disclosure is okay. App closed communication is fine. No retroactive child support, medical support, or dental support is also denied or not granted. I am rebutting the presumption of joint managing conservatory. I don't think you should have the rights and duties as allowed by the family code. Mother will be appointed the sole conservator. What I'm going to do for him is I am going to appoint him a possessory conservator, and I'm going to limit his rights and duties. Mother has the exclusive right to the educational, medical, and residential, so no geographic restriction. I'm also going to limit the rights to, I think in there it's got school activities and even going to lunch, whatever those specific rights are where I can't have him just showing up at the school with thinking he can do the generic rights. No, you remove those. I'm trying to remember any other ones, Ms. Coates, you may have to help me or ask me when you're drafting the order. But at least these specific rights, mom has exclusive, and he's so he's been denied the right to go to the school and or have lunch with her or to any school activities. Can you think of anything else off the top of your head, Ms. Coates? I'll look at the
No,
list.
Your Honor, I'm pulling up the order right now. So as you continue, I'll get.
Yeah, you'll
Okay,
get with
I
it.
gotcha.
But she doesn't have to consult with him on all the major things. It's exclusive. If you'll move those out of there as well and give them to her exclusively. And then limit whatever rights he has on his own with respect to school. Okay. What I did want to do is, again, I'm not a termination court, ma'am. I think you got to go take the burden by hire the lawyer, figure it out, go to get married, whatever, get the termination, get the adoption if that's what you want. But for here, I'm going to limit his rights to access. So there'll be a modified possession and access order. I'm going to allow electronic communication. He's safe that way. If she wants to meet him, if he bothers to show up, you can do it that way. On any social media, is there anything you would prefer, like FaceTime or something else, Ms. Ramon, or I just leave it in there generically and you get to pick?
What does that mean generically? What do you
Just
mean?
that whatever you have that's available to you that you use, if you don't have an Apple phone, it's not FaceTime. You have something else that you would use to communicate on social media. What is it
Oh,
you use? Would you want something specific or just whatever you
Just
have at the time?
just whatever,
Okay.
we'll figure something out.
Electronic communication, because he has shown little to no interest. I'm not going to make you sit there every week or twice a week or anything like that. How often is too often, or how much is too little, ma'am? Is like once a month for electronic communication? Is that doable, or you'd want it less than that?
That's doable.
Okay, would you pick the month, excuse me, the day and the hours that you would want, like the first Sunday of the month, the first Saturday of the month, the
The
15th,
first Sunday of the month is fine.
first Sunday of the month? Probably you don't want her to be on the media, whatever, with him for no more than what, 30 minutes, 20 minutes? What would you prefer?
30 minutes is fine.
Okay, for up to 30 minutes, and then between the hours of what time and what time. So that gives you all some wiggle room. Like the first Sunday, would you want it in the afternoon between 2 and 4? So he calls and
2
has to.
and 4 is fine.
Okay, 30 minutes between the hours of 2 and 4 p.m. on the first Sunday of every month. And I'll leave that for the electronic communication. Now, I'm debating whether I should give them any actual visits, but they'd have to be highly supervised, and I can even, you're in Gonzales County, do you know any places that would supervise visits there, or would you have a way of somebody that would want to supervise, including yourself or somebody you can name that could supervise? Is that a possibility at all, ma'am? And maybe
Um, I
also
think
very often?
I think just I think I can I can supervise, but if I have, you know, I have if I come across someone that I know will do the same as me to protect her or like make sure nothing happens, I think I am in the right mind to pick that person.
The order would say that there's been no family violence between you all, you said, right? So you're not afraid of him or being in the same room with him? He hasn't
Um,
harmed you?
no,
So you'd be okay naming yourself and or somebody else as time goes on?
yeah, as time goes on, I'm not sure right now. Like I said, I'm no, I yeah, I'll just have it to where it's me and anyone I mean, if I can't, I'll see if I find someone that I
Okay.
know is reliable for that position.
Okay. The visitation order is really what it says is that if you all agree to something different, you can do whatever you agree to. So it gives you some wiggle room, especially as time goes on and you think he's coming around or he's not going to be in danger. So you can change the days, the hours, whether it's supervised or not, but I would caution you not to,
Mess
uh,
with it. Yeah.
yeah, don't do no supervision if the problem you had is the indecency of a child. You don't want to
No, ma'am.
put that child in any danger. But what I've done in cases like this, when it's should be limited, maybe once a month or every other month, maybe, and maybe a couple of hours supervised, maybe to go have dinner somewhere, or go to a park somewhere, but always supervised. Would you be okay with that?
Yes, ma'am.
So if the electronic communication was on the first Sunday, what if we did the third Sunday of every month for maybe 2 hours from 2 to 4?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Um, and then did you want to pick a place, right? I need you to pick a place. It doesn't have to be your front door, but you can pick a park, you can pick McDonald's, you can pick something that's convenient to start off and you can stay there or go somewhere else. If he goes through the door and wants to do this. If he doesn't bother, then you never have to worry about it. But um, what exchange place would you want if he wants the 2 hour supervised visit?
Um, I can put my mom's.
At the maternal grandmother's residence to start there, or maybe stay there?
It can. It
Would
can.
you be okay with that? Have you
Yes,
talked?
ma'am.
Okay, don't give me an address right now, but what's your mother's name?
Zenaida Leos.
Senaida, Scenaida.
Yes, ma'am.
Leos, Leos.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. The state will get her address after we get off the record, okay?
Okay.
And I'm gonna leave it at that, once a month for 2 hours, but it has to be with advance notice. So if he wants to show up, he needs to tell you ahead of time. So do you want notice maybe by the first Sunday of the month if he goes through with the electronic visits, by then he should tell you about 2 weeks?
Yes, ma'am.
So with at least 2 weeks advance notice,
Yes, ma'am.
which would coincide with the electronic part if he's doing that. We'll actually say 14 days advance notice instead of 2 weeks. And then failure to give you advance notice is forfeiting the visit. So if he doesn't tell you he's going to be there, then you don't have to go and take the child and get her excited about it or upset about it, and then he doesn't bother. So failure to give you advance notice will result in forfeiture of the visit. Okay, that's all I can think of, and I don't think based on what I heard, he's really gonna go through the door and do any of this, but I'm gonna give him the opportunity because a person's rights to their child it's a constitutional right, it's a high right, and it's protected by our constitution and by our laws. So if he does this, he's got some limited access, maybe it goes somewhere, maybe it doesn't. And if he doesn't do anything, then you have the right, and you still have the right to go file a termination on him with an adoption if that works out for you. Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
can you live with that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and then again, it says if you can do something else on visits, please go ahead and do, as a parent with the best interest of your child in mind, you have the right to use your judgment. Again, but it's just like everybody else, you use good judgment. However, if you were wrong and something bad happens, it's on you. So
Yes, ma'am.
I'm leaving it supervised, I'm leaving it limited because of everything I've heard. And if things change, then maybe you can change this or maybe not. That's up to you, ma'am, in the future, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
He would always have the right to come back in and modify it if he gets a lawyer and files the right lawsuit and does the right things. But if he doesn't do it, this is all he gets. Do you have any questions at all, ma'am?
Does that include with the holidays and stuff?
No, absolutely not. If it happens to fall on a holiday, well, then you deal with it or you switch it out. If you're busy or can't be there, you work it out, may do a makeup visit, something like that. Or
Okay.
if it happens to be a Christmas and it's a 2-hour visit on the phone or in person, whatever it is, more likely Christmas would be the third Sunday. If that happens, maybe
I'm able to switch it out for another day.
you can switch it, or you can just let him have his 2 hours on that day. I mean,
Okay.
he'd be entitled to it, and if it's not a big deal, let him have it. And if it is a big deal, you work it out and give him a makeup day.
Yes, ma'am.
But I'm not doing summers and holidays and all that stuff. No, I'm limiting
Okay.
his rights to that. No. But if you in your good judgment want to do it, that's up to you. You hear that loud and clear.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now I don't think I said it, but I will order court costs in a year, and I did order the mutual non-disclosure finding. Those are always the last 2 things I ask about. It looks like we've covered everything, Ms. Coates, or did you think I left anything out?
I just need to confirm, Your Honor. Are you gonna so these are the following rights, Your Honor.
Okay.
To receive information from any other conservator of the child concerning the health, education, and welfare. Are we allowing him those rights?
Well, he has a right to receive it. Does it say she has the obligation to give it?
Let's see. The next
Does-
one says to confer with the other parent before making a decision.
No, she's gonna have the sole right to make decisions.
Okay. Access to medical, dental, and physical education records.
I think he has a right to get records as the father, and he's not been terminated. Yes. Not,
To consult with a physician, dentist, or psychologist.
no.
Or the school.
No.
Hold on. I just want to make sure I get, because I'm doing a separate paragraph, Your Honor, with his limited rights.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. No access, or wait, we said access?
To what?
Yes. Access to her records. Sorry.
Yes, because he does have the right, but mom doesn't have to be the one that gives it to him. He'd have to go get him himself. Yeah.
No access to consult with physician, dentist, or psychologist. No rights to consult with school officials concerning the child's welfare, education.
Yes. No.
Oh,
No. The answer is no. Right. Yes.
yeah. No, he doesn't have any rights to school activities. We'll look at that. To be designated on any records as a person to be notified in case of an emergency.
No.
Okay.
Because
To
if
consent.
he's not available, then he shows up. He shouldn't have the child. No.
Okay. To consent to medical, dental, and surgical treatment during an emergency involving an immediate danger to the health and safety of the child.
I would say yes, because if she happens to let him have access in her good judgment down the road when he's 17 and there's an emergency, he needs that right. Yes.
Okay. From there. All right.
That covers most of it. I'm gonna leave receive the health education records. And mom, I told you that you have close communication, so you can open that. You want to share, because you said your daughter has
The von Wheels, yeah, von Willebrand disease.
Oh, I can't remember that. And I can't spell that. I've never heard of it before. What is it exactly, ma'am?
It's like the sister of lupus.
Oh, okay. Okay.
She's been having this 3 months, and he's been aware about. That's why I'm confused. It's like, why wouldn't you want?
Yes, I know. Well, if
So
something comes up and you want to let him know and share records with him, that's what App Close is for. You can put them there and send them to him easily, download them or whatever there, instead of trying to take a picture of them and text them or something.
okay,
So that's what that's for. I'm not saying you have to, but he has a right to receive them. So if you want to give them to him, you can. And use App Close for that.
Okay, the last two, Your Honor, to manage the estate of the child to the extent the state has been created by the parent or the parent's family. And the,
Because if he does that on his own, yes, then he has the right to access it. Yes.
okay, and then the right to inherit from and through the child.
Yes, unless he's terminated, he does have that right.
what does that mean?
That if the child dies or has anything of value, that he gets to share in that. You want to
Okay.
terminate him, you can terminate him. Otherwise, he does have the right as a parent.
But I
I
would have
think
to get him terminated. Well, hopefully, I mean, God, nothing happens to her, but it just, I don't, it's,
I know, ma'am. I know it's hard. I'm trying to do my job. You have to do yours. So,
yes, ma'am, I understand.
okay.
the right to discipline the child, Your Honor.
Well, it's going to be very limited on FaceTime and supervised. But I guess if he has a child in his possession because mom allowed it, then yes.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure. I saw discipline and I just wanted to make sure.
Nobody's worried about corporal discipline, are you, ma'am? He wouldn't spank her, or you don't do that either, or does that need to
I
be?
don't do that. I don't do that to her. She's never really act that out. I'm not saying I mean, kids are kids, but I just tell her not to be acting silly, and there are consequences when you act silly. So,
Yes, ma'am. Maybe you can put right to discipline, but no physical or corporal punishment, I guess. You find better word, you can use it, but give him the right, but limit it. You can't, no corporal. Okay, anything else, Ms. Coates?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. And then, ma'am, just so you're aware, because this just happened in another case, we're changing the child's name, so legally, yeah, get rid of Vera if it's from a man that isn't her father and you need to move on. But what's gonna happen is you're gonna get first you're gonna get a proposed order, the state's gonna draft it, send it to you by email. You get a copy of it. You need to review it and sign it electronically, and once I get it back, I sign it. Then the program turns around and sends you the signed copy from me, okay? Once you have the judge signed copy, then you try to get a certified copy of that by going or asking the district clerk's office of Gonzalez to give you a certified copy. That's going to cost you a few dollars. If you take them your own copy and it's identical, then they just charge you for the certification. Otherwise, they might charge you how many pages it is per page, whatever it is. You find out, you figure out what you need to do. You get a certified copy from the clerk's office. Then you go to the Bureau of Vital Statistics and ask for an amended birth certificate. That's going to cost them something else, but that legally adds him as the father and changes the child's name on the birth certificate, because that's what you're going to need for Social Security, for schools, doctors from here on out. If you're changing her name, they need to see something official.
yes, ma'am.
And just getting in the court order, you can tell the school they might change it. They might not, they might want to see the document, but unless you go to the Bureau of Statistics and amend the birth certificate, it's not finished business. And so you have a court order that says one thing and a birth certificate says something else. Is going to be confusing for her. It's going to be a mess when she tries to vote as she's an adult. So get the birth certificate fixed to show what you want it to show. And then you might have to fix it again if you get the adoption done, but that's for another year, another whatever, if that happens. But for right now, if that's what you want, then you got to go through with it and make everybody aware of it. Otherwise, you have a huge mess. Calling her one thing, but legally she's something else.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Okay. Do you have any questions about anything I've said or we've said so far?
No, ma'am.
I give the state 1 week to turn this order in by next Wednesday. So if Tuesday you haven't signed it, or call them with questions or concerns, or that you saw any errors, anything like that. If you don't get to them with the signature or questions by next Tuesday, they'll submit it to me by Wednesday without your signature. I'm rendering the order by default, approving the request made and entering orders even without your request on the possession and access and rights. So it's my order now. So whether you sign it or not, I'm going to sign it without you if you don't take care of business. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
And if you sign it quicker, I get it quicker. If there's nothing else, Ms. Coates,
No, Your Honor.
then thank you, Ms. Ramone. Good luck to you and your child, and God bless y'all.
Thank you.
And your excuse, why don't you just log out, click the end meeting button, and you'll be done with court.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.